So we see in our gospel today, Jesus performing a miracle, okay? He is in a Gentile territory, multiplying the 7 loaves of bread to feed the 4,000 people there, okay? And this is the second time he multiplied bread to feed people. We know in Mark chapter 6, he multiplied 5 loaves to feed 5,000 people. For us to be able to understand the significance of these 2 multiplication of the bread, we need to go back to where Jesus met this Syrophoenician woman, okay? In Mark chapter 7, verse 24 to 30. This Syrophoenician woman was begging Jesus to heal his daughter who's possessed of demon. And Jesus said to her, "Let the children be fed first, for it is not fair to take the children's food," he's referring to bread, "and throw it to the dogs." The woman answered him, "Sir, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumb." And this story of Jesus meeting this Syrophoenician woman is in Mark chapter 7. It's in between the 2 multiplication of the bread. And we see numbers there, right? 5 loaves, it was multiplied to feed the 5,000, and there were 12 baskets left over. The 12, of course, signifies the 12 tribes of Israel, which is the national number of Israel. 7 loaves in the multiplication of the bread to feed the 4,000. The 7 means Sabbath. Okay? A day of rest, a day of holiness, and also a day of completion. As we know, the universe, when God created the world, it was God rested on the 7th day. So Sabbath. But for the Israelites, 7 times 10 equals to 70 also signifies the universal or Catholic fullness of the Gentiles. Another significance of the 7 is that when the Israelites entered the promised land, there were 7 Gentile nations there. The 12 tribes are now living with the 7 Gentile nations in the promised land. Okay, you could see that in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. So we see here the Old Covenant and the New Covenant. We also see here what happened in the Old Testament and what's happening right now in the New Testament. In the Old Covenant, which is the first multiplication, God is first establishing the people of Israel, the 12 tribes in the Old Testament. And in the New Covenant, Jesus is establishing the Catholic Church. Okay? And we see that in the fullness of the Gentiles. You know, the fullness of the Gentiles in the covenant of God. Aren't we blessed? We are these Gentile nations who are now part of this new covenant, so that we're able to partake of the bread of life that is being multiplied every day all over the world, in all the Catholic churches all over the world. This bread is being multiplied so that we would receive the bread of life, so that we will gain strength, so that we will not faint on the way. So that after receiving this bread of life, give us the strength, the nourishment that we need for our soul, so that we will be able to obey God, to do His will, so that after we die here on earth, we will enter the promised land.